Hello, you two. Welcome to Wednesday's video for writing. So we are going to put all of the research that you undertook yesterday and put this into a plan. So I would like you to reread the research from yesterday. Choose the points that you think are key, really important to becoming a polar explorer, because these points are going to go on your poster. They are going to form a plan for your poster. So choose the information that you think is most important. Pop me on pause whilst you do this and I'll see you afterwards. Okay, good. Now let's have a think again about our audience, the person or people that are going to be looking at reading our posters. So your poster needs to inform, it needs to tell, give information to others about how to become a polar explorer. Now you're becoming quite an expert on this now because you've had your immersion day, you've read some books and different videos, and you might have safely looked at some other ideas on the internet as well with an adult. So you must make sure your poster informs others about how to become a polar explorer. And following this, you need to persuade, you've got to convince your audience to sign up to become an explorer. So they need to be really excited by your poster and interested. They've got to feel intrigued and they're going to want to become an explorer. So we're going to have a look at an example poster. Now, this is a poster that I have created, but it is by no means a standard or an example to meet. This has been made for us to discuss the language features so that you know what to include in your posters. Your posters are all going to look very individual and personal to you, and that is what we would like to see. So please don't think that this needs to be a replica to copy or follow. It is down to you as to how you would like to present your posters. So have a look at this poster. Discuss the language used. How does it make you feel? Does this tell you what is needed to become an explorer? How? Are you interested to find out more? Would you like to sign up? Why? And also you can have a look at the layout. I've used some capital letters in certain places. Look at the punctuation. What do you think of the pictures that have been included? But remember, your pictures are going to be drawn, so I'm sure they will look much better than the ones I have put together. So pop me on pause whilst you're doing this task, and then we will go through this together afterwards. Okay, really well done for doing that. You also would have seen that we've got a PDF as well on Padlet, so you can have a look at this or you can just carry on looking at this on the screen. So let's go through this together. This is a very busy page with all of the features. Now, I didn't expect you to find every single one, but I've put them all up there so we can discuss these together. So let's start at the top. Brave, bold explorers wanted. Do you have what it takes to reach the South Pole? Join Captain Scott and experience the journey of a lifetime. Qualities. It will be a tough, long journey to the South Pole. Our explorers must be ambitious, resilient, and take risks. Skills. Explorers must be skilled in tying knots, packing sledges, and reading a map. Clothing. It is as cold as a fridge in Antarctica. Bring a coat made of soft, warm reindeer fur. Equipment. Pack as much food as you can carry to give you energy. You will need a strong, sturdy tent to sleep in. So let's have a look at this a bit more closely. So up here, you will see I've got an exclamation mark. So I've used punctuation to emphasize my title. My title is here, Brave, Bold Explorers Wanted. And this is my exclamation mark because we use exclamation marks when we want to emphasize, when we want to surprise, maybe if we want to shock people. So I'm hoping I'm going to draw my reader in by using this exclamation mark. And I've also used all capital letters for my title because I hope it's going to stand out when the reader, the audience is walking past and they're going to stop and look at it. And you will also see I have used an expanded noun phrase for description. So this is where we have our adjective, adjective, noun. Describing word, and then our thing, person, or place, our noun. I've got brave, bold, explorers. Brave and bold are my adjectives, my describing words, and they are describing an explorer. So my noun, it's a thing. So I am hoping that by the use of capital letters, an exclamation mark, and the expanded noun phrase, that my reader is going to want to carry on reading. Now here we've got a new feature to look at. This is a rhetorical question. Rhetorical question. And we know it's a question because we've got a question mark here at the end. So this says, do you have what it takes to reach the South Pole? A rhetorical question is a question that doesn't need an answer. Now, you might think that's quite a funny thing for me to say. You might think, well, all questions need an answer. But here, if you think about it, do you have what it takes to reach the South Pole? They're not asking for a direct answer. You might think to yourself, yes, I do have what it takes to reach the South Pole. And you might carry on reading the poster. Or you might think, no, I don't have what it takes, and choose not to carry on reading. You might not want to look at what else there is to offer. So this is a question that doesn't necessarily need an answer. Whereas if you think about a normal question, they usually need answers. So for example, if I said to you, please can I borrow your book? I would need you to say yes or no, because then I know if I'm allowed to or not. So this is quite a new feature, rhetorical questions. We're going to go into these in more detail. Here you will see we've got a conjunction. I've used the conjunction and it's going to extend my sentence. So I've been able to add more information to my sentence here. I've got a range of sentence starters. So sometimes it's tempting when you get into the flow of writing to keep starting your sentence in the same way, but you can always go back and change them and think about how else can I start that sentence that sounds different to the other ones. And I have used the personal pronoun you. So this personal pronoun you is involving my reader. I'm not here to read my poster out, but if I've got a person reading it, by using the personal pronoun you, it's as if I'm directly talking to my reader. I am addressing them. And here we've got another new feature, imperative verb. So a verb is our doing word, it's an action. We can perform this. So for example, run or jump, that's something we can do. An imperative verb, you might hear them be called as bossy verbs. It tells the reader what to do. So pack, bring, and join. I am bossing the reader around. I'm telling them what to do. So this is a new feature that we're going to be looking at as well. So we've got rhetorical question and imperative verbs, bossy verbs. And here it's something a bit more familiar. We've got ellipsis. This is our dot, 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 our 3 dots. And we use these to create suspense. So if you think about when we were looking at Poles Apart, every time Mr. White was about to visit a new country, we had ellipsis, we had dot, 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 because we weren't sure which country the polar bear was going to visit next. So here I've used ellipsis to create suspense. Join Captain Scott and experience the journey of a lifetime. And I've got my ellipsis, my dot, 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 to encourage the reader to carry on reading, to find out some more information about this journey and what they need to do. So there we go, we've got a nice overview of all of the features. I don't expect you to use all of them, but it's good to have all of them up there so that you've got a better understanding. So that now that we have looked at this together, I would like you to use your research from yesterday and turn the bullet points into full sentences. So you might like to do this on strips of paper. Complete a sentence for each of the headings on different strips of paper. So you've got qualities, skills, clothing, and equipment. If you can, try to include some of the language features identified. So, for example, we've got a range of sentence starters and the personal pronoun you. Now, as I said earlier, some of the language features are brand new, so don't try and cover everything at once. You can always just focus on a couple of the features, such as the ones I've just mentioned. So I've made an example down here just to help you. So if you've got on your plan, you've got on your research list, equipment tent, you're going to turn this into a sentence, a full sentence. So you're going to draft it, you're going to plan it. You will need a strong, sturdy tent to sleep in and keep you warm from the cold, icy wind. So I've added in an expanded noun phrase, cold, icy wind. I've used a different sentence starter and I've used the personal pronoun you. So give that a try, turn your bullet points into full sentences and see if you can add in a couple of the language features that we have gone through together. I can't wait to see everything you have done. So send it in to us via the Year 2 email address and we are going to carry on with your planning tomorrow in the next video.